Welcome to the NCDWI Guide podcast, where defenders of the Constitution assemble to prepare for courtroom battle and firm owners gather to develop marketing strategies that will revolutionize the practice of criminal defense. Here's your host, the NCDWI guy, Jake Minnick.
Hello, fellow freedom fighters, and welcome to episode 141 of the NCDWI Guy podcast. On today's episode, we are talking about giftology. Giftology. Going to spend some time talking through a point that is made in the book Giftology by John Ruhlin. If you have not read this book, it is an incredible read. Highly recommend this book. And it is something that we, based on this book and a talk that we heard by John Ruhlin at the CRISP Game Changer Summit a year ago, we created a giftology team at the office. And that has really been a huge point of advantage, a huge way to build our culture, to recognize some of our referral partners that we work with, and something that we are really just in the initial stages of developing in terms of our own giftology strategy and our kind of internal giftology team. We're really just kind of in the beginning stages of how we can kind of maximize the cultural benefit and the referral benefit through that team. So very excited about that kind of on the internal side of things. I've kind of talked about giftology or gift giving, so to speak, in the context of referral relationships back on episode 41, maximizing referral business. So if you haven't listened to that episode and you're interested in using this as kind of a generation of referral tool, then go back and listen to episode 41, because I think there's some good points that we taught through back on that episode. But in terms of giftology and gift giving, why is this so important? We're sitting here, I'm recording this a few days before Christmas. I've got some, for those watching, I've got several gifts from employees and some of our community partners back here behind me. Always exciting. I just got a beautiful gift from our front desk lady Adriana. That is coffee. I mean, you can't not beat coffee when it comes to a gift giving solution, especially Starbucks. So I am wired for this podcast. So, in this Christmas season, we see a lot of gift giving. And, in terms of kind of thinking through the value of gift giving, there is a great quote by Bishop Robert Barron, who is a kind of well-known kind of theologian that has done a lot of used social media to kind of spread the gospel. And he says that your person, so to speak, your being increases in the measure that you give it away. Your being decreases in the measure that you cling to it. Let me say that one more time. Your being increases in the measure that you give it away. Your being decreases in the measure that you cling to it. And this is what Bishop Barron refers to as the law of the gift. The law of the gift. Your being increases in the measure that you give it away. And it is something that, we recognize in kind of Christmas season, this gift giving season of, trying to use gifts to some extent to bring other people happiness, to kind of spread the good news. Really is what that kind of gift exchange is. It is a messaging, a showing that the relationship there is important, that there is value that exists between the persons that are exchanging gifts. And I think that in terms of giftology, so much, I think of our thought process in gift giving as attorneys, whether it's to employees, whether it is to referral partners, is if I give a gift, then I'm going to be owed something. If I give a gift to somebody else, whether that's another attorney that might send me business, whether that's to my employee, maybe to a client that has referred me a case, whatever it is, it's almost like this kind of exchange in terms of, if I do this, I'm expecting something in return. And I would say that a fundamental principle when it comes to giftology, when it's done right, is don't expect anything in return. The value of gift giving is that by giving to others, whether that's to your employees, to your referral partners, to your clients, when you give freely to others, your being increases. And I would say when we extend this into our business, when our business gives freely to others, clients, employees, referral partners, the community, then the firm itself, the organization itself increases. This is the beauty of the law of the gift, that the true winner when it comes to gift giving, and everybody knows this, that kind of gives gifts at Christmas and enjoys that kind of giving of gifts almost more than the receiving of gifts, is that when you give away, you experience that elevation of your person, right? You experience that dopamine hit that occurs when you give away freely. And so that is something that the number one winner in gift in a gift exchange is the person giving the gift, not the one receiving. So as opposed to kind of going into it with a tit for tat model, an expectation of some sort of return, whether that's a return in gift, whether that's a return in a referral, whether that's, hard work at the office, whatever it might be, go into your giftology strategy with no expectation of a return, because you are going to benefit from your giftology planning. Your firm, your organization, if you bring this into your firm culture, your firm is going to grow, is going to be increased in the measure that you are giving your firm away. Now, there's different ways that we can give away, or implement giftology in our personal lives and at the firm. I mean, we can give, gifts. We can give, a gift card. We can give a box of chocolates, a cookie tray, a Christmas basket. We can give away, in terms of like a present form, something to clients. But there's other ways that we can give back to employees, clients, referral partners. And I think we need to expand the mindset, because some of these other ways of gift giving are, if not as valuable, more valuable and lower cost than just kind of traditional gift giving. So you can give away information. And I think that is one of the ways that as attorneys, we have the biggest opportunity. When a client comes to our office with a charge, our goal as a team is to give that client more information than they are receiving from any other source. We want to give as much of our knowledge. We want to give as much information to the client as we possibly can, because that's what the client is seeking out when they come to find us. So we're not trying to hide anything. We're not using fear, scare tactics. It's all about giving information and really trying to think outside of the box in terms of how can I go above and beyond what the expected information exchange would typically look like in the attorney-client relationship. How can I give this person the resources to other community partners that they need to be prepared for court? How can I elevate my gift giving game by providing above and beyond the amount of information that is expected going into this. So that's a huge part of kind of our process for potential clients that call in, and also for current clients once they've hired us, is just continually trying to give as much information as possible, as opposed to giving just here's the day and time of your court. Here's where the courthouse is. Details in terms of which courtroom are you going to be at? How do you get there? What do you need to bring with you? What should you expect on that court date? The more that you are taking that information, freedom of information, and giving of information to the next level, you are again increasing your firm. You're increasing the benefit of that client going with you. And again, it's just something that continually can be built. There's no end in sight in terms of how much information you can provide to a client. So really, information is a huge piece. And the same kind of holds true, not only with clients, but with other attorneys. I mean, helping out an attorney that calls with a case, if they, want to bounce a case off of you, freely give as much as you can, thoughts, feedback about that case. If you have the ability to teach in a public setting, other attorneys, local schools, whatever it might be, giving information about, your area of expertise or the law in general is a humongous gift. It is an amazing way of growing. Again, I think increasing your being. Your being is increased in the measure that it is given away. The more that you can kind of give away that information, the better. And so that's one reason why, when it comes to our business strategy, our marketing strategy, it's an open book. I mean, if you have a question about marketing, about business, about a particular case that you have, a DWI issue, call our office. Whether it's myself or an attorney maybe that's in your neck of the woods, that's in one of our other offices across the state. We're an open book. We're trying to give away the things that have worked for us, the pitfalls and the mistakes to avoid, because ultimately that's how we get better as a criminal defense bar. That's how we are able to improve our local communities, is by giving away this information. So again, whether it's on an individual basis or in a more public setting, giving away information is critical. Another form of kind of information giving, but I think it's a little bit different, is you can also give in the form of training. And this is something that I think, going into next year is wise to think about whether or not you're kind of giving this to your own team, or maybe to your local bar, or to the criminal defense bar statewide as a whole. Is how am I elevating those people that are around me by increasing their training? So again, one form of gift giving in terms of your employees or your team would be a bonus to give away, Christmas basket or a Christmas gift, but also by giving training and being thoughtful in terms of how am I elevating the knowledge of my team. That is a humongous gift. I mean, to especially if it's something that you're kind of giving to grow that person outside of their particular, expertise or whatnot within the law or within your office. But how are you kind of giving them something that is helping them grow in their personal lives? And again, this extends out to the criminal defense bar, to your clients, to the community. Great to give information as it relates to DWI and traffic law and criminal defense, whether it's to client, employee, other attorneys in the bar. But how about giving a gift as opposed to a bottle of wine to a referral partner? How about a book that has advanced your individual business, or the way that you handle cases, or your practice, or some sort of manual that you've stumbled upon that's been helpful? Thinking about how you can increase the knowledge of another person through some sort of training material is huge. It is such a powerful way of gift giving. So again, this is something that I think we can all really sit down and think about, kind of going into 2023. There's something about going gift giving that is just such an easy way for us to start to kind of develop a relationship. Again, no matter who that is with, employee, client, referral, community member, whoever it might be, there's something powerful about gift giving that is important. And you don't need to wait until next Christmas to make this happen. So again, I'm recording this in the Christmas season with these, Christmas gifts behind me. But let me read the US section from John Ruhlin's Giftology book that is so cool when it comes to, well, I've kind of missed the major gift giving season. Let me put that idea to rest. So in chapter 5, which is surprise and delight, from his book Giftology, I'm just going to read a few paragraphs from that chapter. Think about your own business, regardless of what industry you are in. When do you tend to receive a gift from a client, supplier, employer, or colleague? Christmas, right? Would it shock you to know that I'm all for killing Christmas? It might seem odd, especially given my Christian faith, but here's what I mean. I'm a firm believer that you get the best response from people when you gift them at unexpected times. The Ruhlin Group sends gifts on Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day. By doing this, we cut into any sense of entitlement because the gift never becomes an expectation. It's always a surprise, and it always makes an impact. Take that bottle of really good wine you were going to give at Christmas time and send it in the middle of the winter tundra of February instead. I guarantee the response will likely be, that was the best gift. It was the only thing I got in the mail that wasn't a bill this week. I call it planned randomness. We lay out a plan of action with regard to our gifting, but the employee, the customer, the prospect, they don't know what's coming when. So when it does, they are nothing short of surprised and delighted. So those are a couple of paragraphs from John Ruhlin's book on Giftology. Again, I highly recommend this book. It is a fantastic, fantastic book. If you are thinking about trying to up your gift giving, which is so powerful, John says, and his whole strategy when it comes to marketing and even growing his own business really comes down to growing through the power of the gift. He says that gifting takes you places that other marketing can't. And I totally agree with that. There's something about kind of gift giving that just creates trust, buy-in into the relationship that other forms of marketing just simply cannot create, in terms of that shared experience, that surprise and delight element. So again, this is being delivered at Christmas, but as John Ruhlin says, he would be down for destroying Christmas gift giving with other firms, with your team, because there is an expectation of gifts, and you're also in the noise, right? There's so many, there's so many people that are gift giving. Whether you're getting 5 gifts from other attorneys' offices, or if you're in the noise of competing with that person's friends and family and coworkers or boss, whatever it might be, you are in the noise of gifting if you're giving at Christmas. So don't wait until next Christmas to make your giftology plan or strategy, because as Ruhlin says, the best time to do that is at unexpected times, and Valentine's Day is just around the corner. That's one of their cornerstone times to do gift giving. So think outside the box when it comes to gift giving. Again, final point, and kind of just reframing the original point from Bishop Barron. Your being increases in the measure that you give it away. If you want to increase yourself, if you want to take your game up, if you want to become a better human being, if you want your law firm to grow going into next year, then make Giftology a part of your personal and professional identity. Look forward to speaking with you next year. If you found the information in this podcast to be valuable, I simply ask that you pay it forward and share this podcast with another member of the legal community. Also, if you would leave us a rating or a review on whatever platform you are listening on, I would greatly appreciate it.